Welcome to the Purple Positivity Podcast for March the 23rd, 2018. I am your host, the amazingly adorable Rebecca Thistle, podcasting to you live-ish from my kitchen/dining room table in my apartment, which I call Jeffrey Thistlework. Yay! So, this show, if you didn't already know, is called Broken Girl. And the reason it's called Broken Girl is because I'm about to play for you a song that I wrote about 6 years ago, almost to the day, called Broken Girl. And this is actually really hard for me to do. I've performed this live like very few times. I could probably count, maybe not on one hand, but on my fingers only, how many times I have performed this publicly. And so for me to have sat down and recorded it and play it on my podcast, it's a difficult thing. So I want to preface this by saying, firstly and foremostly, I know it doesn't sound like amazing. I know it's not going to be like this huge top 10 hit. I know it's not the greatest thing since sliced bread. I know I don't sing as great as Beyonce or whomever. I know, okay? But I am proud of this because A, it's my song, and B, I recorded it myself, and so there's a certain amount of pride in that. So it will begin as soon as I turn off my microphone. I've been down, I've been low, I have had no place to go. I was lost, I was scared when I saw that you weren't there for me. When I needed you the most, I've lived in darkness, I've lived in shame, I have forgotten my own name. Bruises, blisters, all of my scars, through hard ways we reach the stars. Somehow I'm still breathing, somehow I'm still dreaming, somehow I still believe in the good of this world. believe in the good of this world. There is hope for a broken girl. All the times I had to lie about the pain I held inside, all the smiles I had to fake when I thought my heart would break, all the tears I never cried, burning right behind my eyes, all the years I spent losing my mind. Somehow I'm still breathing, somehow I'm still dreaming, somehow I still believe in the good of this world. There is hope for a broken girl. Love is the cleansing rain that washes away years of pain. Love is the new beginning for this life that I've been living in. Now my life can begin. I did that. I don't know how I do this to myself. It like, oh man, I'm a little misty-eyed. That's a very intensely personal thing. I mean, I know probably to most, if not all of you, the lyrics are very vague, but like to me they're so specific because I mean I was there when I wrote it. So like the line about I was lost, I was scared when I saw that you weren't there for me when I needed you the most, that I wrote that about something that happened when I was 19, and it's it's a long story that I don't have time nor the desire to get into on this particular episode, but it ends, spoiler alert, with me alone in a parking lot, wondering where the man who said that he loved me, where he was. You know, that was a hard day, and that set off a chain of events in my life that broke me down to the point where I literally did not know my name. I was addicted to painkillers, and that's where that line comes from. I've forgotten my own name. I was addicted to painkillers, and one day, like, I can't remember how I got there. I don't even entirely remember where I was, but I was in a bathroom somewhere, and I was looking in the mirror over the sink, and I didn't know who that was. It didn't register that it was me, and let alone what my name was. Like, I didn't know who I was. And that was like my aha moment where I just went, wow, shit, I gotta get away from this. And it's hard to hear that back. It's hard just to sing it, sometimes, because it's so autobiographical for me, you know? Like the bridge, so all the times I had to lie about the pain I felt inside, or all the pain I held inside, all the smiles I had to fake when I thought my heart would break, all the tears I never cried, burning right behind my eyes, all the years I spent losing my mind. I'm very sensitive when people tell me not to talk about certain things, you know? I'm very sensitive when people say, what happens behind closed doors stays behind closed doors. I'm very sensitive to that because I'm sitting here going, that's my story, and I should be allowed to tell. You know, I've had romantic partners say what happens between us stays between us. I've had family members say what happens at home stays at home. Even my job says, you know, has made it abundantly clear that we're not allowed to post on social media about our job. Like, I mean, I get it. Don't talk shit about your employer, but you shouldn't be afraid of losing your job just because you posted, I had a bad day at work. It happens. It freaking happens. But I'm very sensitive to that censorship. and you know, and so that's because it's like, no, don't talk about it. I did a show on the Lit Nerd podcast last month about freedom through speech and like the liberation that comes with telling your story. And I've known that my whole life. But so, you know, so to me it's like, no, don't talk about your feelings. John Mulaney, in one of his stand-up specials, makes a joke. He's like, I come from an Irish family, and the Irish, our life is, I'm just gonna hold all my feelings inside, and then one day I will die. That's not, well, I mean, I don't think that's necessarily accurate, but that's not far off from my experience. I don't think it's necessarily an Irish thing per se, but it seems to be a waspish sort of thing. And so I'm very sensitive when people say, no, don't talk about it. Don't say anything. What happens behind closed doors stays behind. I'm very sensitive to that because it's like, no, don't feel. Don't feel. Don't be yourself. Don't. Shut up. That's how it makes me feel. And so it's really hard to listen back to that. But even so, it's very cathartic because, you know, that chorus, I guess, says it all. Somehow I'm still breathing. Somehow I'm still dreaming. And somehow I still believe in the good of this world. And that there is hope for a broken girl. And the big thing I want to address with regards to what I talk about in the song is the last verse. Love is the cleansing rain that washes away years of pain. Love is the new beginning for this life that I've been living in. Now my life can begin. I wrote that in 2012, and the reason that I wrote that verse, in my head, I was like, yeah, 2 verses, a chorus, and a bridge, and that's how you write a song. But I'd written the bridge, and obviously the chorus and the verses, and And I remember I felt like I hadn't said everything that I wanted to say. I felt like I didn't want to end it on this note of, my life has sucked, and yet somehow I'm still alive, basically, you know? I wanted to